Good afternoon, this is Melissa with thestockswoosh.com, and today I thought I would review a bullish gap, which I called not to work this morning as a bullish gap because it was not what I call a corrective gap. I actually was watching this gap to gap down last night, or for this morning, to play this morning, and it didn't work. So then I didn't play it. I didn't do anything with this. I don't flip things when I know they're not going to work. However, I looked at this morning, and I reviewed this in my trading room on the Stock Swoosh show. Before it even opened, I looked at it and I said what it had to do to hold as a bullish gap. I said, you can't do anything with this because it's really supposed to be a bullish gap, and yet it's not going to work right because it wasn't enough. And remember, I liked it as a short, okay, which is telling me something. The chart was telling me something. Now, it didn't gap down, so you can't short it. And I don't do what this is doing now because it's just this not acting right. And I'm going to go over it in a minute. But really, seriously, this is playing out exactly as I predicted, even though I didn't trade it. And I'll explain why later. This gap needs to get up here to be a bullish gap where the chart is such that you can play it long. It didn't do that today, and I choose not to do bullish gaps. I do bearish gaps, but I looked at this in the room today for people that wanted to go long this, and I said it's not going to work out. And lo and behold, do you know in the morning that it did a reverse swoosh? What is a reverse swoosh? This is something I teach in the gap class. It means stay away, stop, don't do me right now. I'm not going to work. I could fail in the day. No, a problem. It's an alert. High alert activity is what's going on in here. Oh my goodness. Seriously? I even, before I closed out the room, I looked at this. I said, this isn't going to hold. I said, people are going to buy us in here. It's not going to hold. Actually, no. Wait, let's go back to the morning because I looked at this out of the gate. Did even look at it out of the gate. Wait a minute. Let me go back. Wow. This is playing out exactly the way I thought. Unbelievable. Incredible. Hold on. This is what happens with these things. It was a bullish gap, but it didn't gap up far enough to correct the chart to go long. And then it did a reverse swoosh, so you don't do anything with it. I know what people are looking for, and I know how people trade, and I know what they think they're going to do, but it doesn't work out if the gap isn't good enough. And this is why I have a gap rating system that is so detailed and focused to keep me away from trouble. In which case this thing was today. If I wanted to go long this, I would have never done it, and yet many people did, and that's why. The fact that people went long this today is the reason this bar looks like a catastrophe. So it's going to go here today. It will see 64.50. I wouldn't be surprised if this crashed through $64 today. I wouldn't even be surprised. 2:30 in the afternoon, has an hour and a half left, 64.50, possibly in here, right in here. Incredible. So what do people do? Okay, I'm reading people here now. First of all, I read the gap, and it told me that the big money wasn't going to buy this gap up. Therefore, you don't play it long. And you don't short this either. Why? Because it's incorrect. Now, I saw it today as a short. I knew that it was going to be a short, but I don't short this. This isn't my thing. All right? The big money wasn't going to buy the gap, but it's a bullish gap up. What do you do with it today? Absolutely nothing. All right? So, but people want to try to buy this in here. Even though it went out of the low of the day, and even though it did a reverse swoosh, it was never a buy, but people try to buy this. And then what happens? These people get stopped out. So some people have the stop here, and they got stopped out and caused this tail in here. And then some people have the stop here, and then it pushes through here. Then people try to buy every dip. See? They're trying to buy the dips. They try to buy the dips. They try to pick the bottom. After this thing was all the way up here at 68.30, and all of a sudden down here and run $2.50 into itself, why would you think this was going to do anything today other than be red? It's 10:20. After 10 o'clock is way too late to think something's going to correct itself on the day in this fashion. No. But people kept buying this. Even when it lifted itself up here then in the 5-minute, I said, people are going to buy this here and it's going to fail. I said, in order for this to go green on the day and be a long, it would have to go above 67.50. And look, it never did it. The high of this thing here was 67.25, 67.25, 67.25, 67.22. Look at that. Boy, I was really read this well. So Now, if you bought in this dip, you probably got stopped out multiple times thinking this was a buy and wanting to buy it. And then if you were lucky, you made money going long in this and made $1. But you got stopped out probably so many times, and how did you profit really on the day? Why? The right direction was down. In order to make money, you have to get the direction right of the daily chart, of the stock, and the direction was zero, zippo, zippity-doo-dah, nothing to do, stay away of a bullish gap failure. That's what the play was in this. A bullish gap failure, in which case you don't do anything. You don't go the reverse direction of a failure. Why? Because it's dangerous to do that, and it's trippy. Consistency is the way to go. Playing the actual direction of the chart is a way to go. What is BBY doing right now? It's in transition, and we'll go back to that in a minute. Anyways, I said that this had to get over here. If it was going to really carry through, it didn't do it. Held in here. These people got either, held through this and lowered their stop, in which case that's probably what happened with a lot of people here. Pushed it through. People thought they'd hold it through lunch and it would carry through into the afternoon. But if I had seen this live, which I didn't, stopped in the morning, moved on, I'm just going back and looking at this now, I would have said this is absolutely going to do exactly what I said. Didn't get up here, and it's going to continue as a short and go down. Look, 64.50, it's going to get there. Incredible. It's going to get down to 64. It's going to get down to $64 today. Unbelievable. Not unbelievable. It's just it's me reading the charts so well. What causes this to then go and move like this? Because of the fact that people tried to buy this and kept trying to buy it 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 and kept trying, and they're all getting stopped out. Do you have any idea how many people are losing their shirts and tails and ties with this today? The big money decided to sell out of this gap as a clue. This is a clue. This is a clue that actually what I wanted to happen today is going to happen sometime, but not today, which is that the stock is going to gap down and break again. Why? Because the push is happening through traders getting stopped out, but the real push is happening because the big money's selling off an opportunity to get out of a long position on this at a better price than maybe they would have gotten out of somewhere around here, or maybe profits. If people bought this bullish gap here, they'd get out of profit, knowing that it's not going to carry through and lift off and go back up to all-time highs, which I don't think it's going to now after this reaction today. And the failure of the bullish gap today, if this really, really, really wanted to go long and strong today with a strong market, which the market ran up yesterday, this actually broke over a base. It actually broke over this gap here. It actually broke over resistance, but it wasn't good enough. And I saw that this morning. This had to gap up to $70 to clear through and be what I call a corrective gap. This is going to gap down again. Mark my words. I don't know when. And when it does, I will short it and play it, and it's going to run red, and I'll make money in it like every time I've done when I played this thing. Every beautiful gap that's happened here, 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 and here. And it is going to do it again. I wanted it to do it today. It did not do it today. That's okay. But today is actually a clue that everything I wanted to happen is going to happen sometime later. And I don't flip these things and all of a sudden decide to short bullish gap ups. That's not the correct thing to do. This chart is in transition. The transition will correct itself and figure itself out soon. My bias on this is neutral/bearish because I feel like it's going to follow through on the downside. But really, honestly, at this point, this chart is straight on neutral unless it gaps up over $70 or continues in the downtrend that it had started to go and do, but it's been trying to continue. But it cannot do it. Why? It doesn't matter. All right. The fact is, this gap did not rate or play or quality enough to go long, and that's the end of the story. And it's a huge, huge red bar today for one reason and one reason only. When people keep going after something and can't get off of it because they want to keep buying the dips in it and picking bottoms, look what happens. It makes these things go humongous. Plus the big money that's selling out of the gap today. All right, big money selling out of the gap today. Probably some people that bought in here and bought in here, or were actually still long from way back when and are deciding to, ooh, let's get out some today because we want to get out of this thing. It's not acting right in this bullish market. This thing should have corrected itself by now. Look at the way the market pushed off yesterday, and this thing can't quite do it. So really good read by me today. on this gap that is a failed bullish gap that I did not play, but called as a short for various reasons and is playing out exactly. I said 64.50. It got to 64.52. An hour and 20 minutes left in the day. Who knows? This thing could go to $64, but just wants to keep going into here. This will fall off again. This will fall off again tomorrow, though. This will fall off again tomorrow if it doesn't get to $64 today. This is really damaging this bar that happened here in this failure. Although no one should have bought it anyways. If you even thought for a millisecond that it was going to work as a long, you would have known not to do it. Why? Reverse swoosh. One of the most beautiful things I ever taught myself. The swoosh and the reverse swoosh. This is what I teach in the class. But it keeps me out of plays that I know are not going to set up, that aren't going to work. It says, wait, stay away, wait for a confirmation. This never gave it. There's never, ever, ever any reason to go long here. And certainly not to keep going long and going long and going long and going long again. And to see this do this here. And look, it depends how you read things. See what I said the number had to be? Some people would have said, oh, this is fine after this guy here. After the failure here, the failure on the short side to go lower right in here at 10.50. Some people would have said, well, it's clear, it's clear, it's going to go green today. Instead, this was a rally into resistance, one resistance level. This was the clear bar through, and it didn't make it, not even close. And look at that there. It's the open. It's the open of the stock on the day. 67.25 is the open of the stock on the day. This rallied up, could never get over the open, so it never, ever, ever, ever went green. Even when this fell in here, and even when this picked itself up here, and even when it ran up here, it never went green on the day. It held to the penny. There it is. There it is. 67.25. 67.25 was the open. Never went over it. Let's look at it in 1 minute. Really clear. I bet this goes to $64 today. This is why you got to take my class. Let's look at this. Hold on. I've got to snag at this. This is really, 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 this is good stuff here, people. What a beautiful chart. This is an unbelievable, incredibly beautiful chart. This is an amazing chart. I'm going to study this and snag at it. This is a thing of beauty right here. This is Melissa with thestockswoosh.com. If you're interested in learning how to read gaps and play them in the correct direction and know if they rate high enough to play in the direction of the gap to actually do them and play them and make money consistently to profit and know what the large money positions are doing in these things, then contact me at melissa@thestockswoosh.com. My next class is this weekend, April 13th and 14th. This rating system that I have developed is just amazing, and that's why I call it the Golden Gap. It's a 26-point rating system, and with this system, I can tell if a gap is going to work right on the day or fail. And that's what I saw this morning in this. I said the gap is going to fail today. Look, it's going to break the low of the day here. It's going to $64 today. As soon as it breaks 52, 64.52. As soon as it breaks 64.52, this is going to $64. It's going to do it today. There it goes. There it is. Beautiful. Anyways, if you'd like more information, contact me at melissa@thestockswoosh.com. If you'd like to learn how to read and rate gaps and take my gap class, contact me at melissa@thestockswoosh.com. And have a great day, everybody. This is Bbby, Bed Bath & Beyond. Love Bed Bath & Beyond. Just love you. Love you, beautiful chart. Love you, company. And we'll see what you have to do tomorrow. Thanks, and have a great day, everybody.